and you
I'm
can't.
not touching their stuff.
I have no idea.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, then we're off and running with our experts.
During
I've
the
been having a
C
wood
word
shortage.
process, well, that can happen as you get older in life. Come on, man. This is a joke.
Well, you put cologne on your butt?
Well,
So in order to play, you have to wear jorts.
I don't have George. I could probably wear a Speedo now.
Want to do that? No, you probably could.
He'll be over here tomorrow digging out a big-ass bush.
Sonny and share, like and share, whatever.
Yeah.
Just something and share.
Yes, hello. Hey, it's another edition. It's season 2, episode 10. We've hit double figures. It's Gamble and Finn's Larger Than Live. Here we are in Studio G. I'm Gamble. He's Finn.
Although I am doing my
Yes.
best stuntman impression of you right now without a hat.
Are you? Right. What is that?
I'm training to be your stunt double.
We do kind of look
Similar.
somewhat similar.
Well, here,
which,
I'll
which
do
isn't
this.
really necessarily good for either one.
How do you
of
like
us.
this? I call this my Bloods and Crips look.
Yeah.
Like
it's-
this? Do I
it's
look tougher
It's
now?
a good no. It's a good look. And,
Oh, here,
and the
I can
thought
make it
of
even
you-
douchier right now.
The thought of
How's
you being in either one of those is a bit troubling, right? I mean, come on.
Here we are,
Yep.
off of spring break, episode 10 in season
Right.
2. Whoever thought we'd get here? I don't think either one of us did, but here we are, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we did, or more importantly, maybe what we did not do
Right.
over spring break. But before we get to any of that, a couple of quick things.
Yes.
The other day we were up in the area. Our friends at Fueled Collective continuing
Right.
to rock
Yep.
and roll. Things are starting to open back up. Those guys
They
continuing to provide office space for folks who don't need a lot of office space permanently. So if you need something, go tell them Gamble and Finn sent you. Fueled Collective in the Rookwood area. It's a killer spot. So-
Well, and I can tell you one thing about today. It's sunny and nice out because why? Because we don't have any baseball or softball games to stage today. It has been, we've had 2 weekends. You can literally set the calendar by when we have or don't have games.
Yeah. You can tell the
Brutal.
what now that would be an easier way to weather forecast. If
It
you
would be.
schedule some games, you know there's going to be rain, snow, or other. Well, and honestly, I mean we're up against that on a number
yeah.
of different. Even with the Reds this week coming,
Yeah.
being back home. What are we going to do this week? We'll let you know with regard to the Moorline Lager House once we've made the decision. We may
Right.
end up, and maybe it makes more sense to start in May when we
Yeah.
can start outside, which is the whole point.
When it's supposedly going to get warmer, right? In
Well,
the 5th month of the year.
We have had snow on Derby Day, if you recall. In
No,
years
that
past,
is true.
so who
Well,
knows?
Wednesday
Knock,
looks
knock.
like opening day too. I
Yeah.
mean, it looks like, and when I hear the words accumulating snow,
Yeah, that's nuts.
But then I look at the temperature and I don't necessarily see that. But what do I know? I mean, I can tell you I know as much as they do. So it does look like, though, it's coming in Tuesday night into Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, and
So we'll keep you posted. But
Yep.
I mean, you can talk baseball and softball and all that all you want. I've got Bengal fever.
well, yeah, boy, I tell you what, that little tweak of the stripes got me almost unglued.
I got to be honest
Yes.
with you. We were talking about this
Right.
morning about the Bengals announcing their new uniforms, and
Yep.
I'm not saying this just because I'm not a fan. I don't really get it. I mean, there's a lot of different color combinations.
Hold on,
but-
no, they have 9 different combinations that you can put together if you would like.
And if you haven't seen the new stripes,
Right.
yeah, it's all over the place right now. But I think a lot of people are looking at it going, that color rush, they kind of did that last year, getting rid of the patches of color
Yeah,
and going to
right.
the full white and everything else. So I'm looking at it, and why wouldn't you have taken this opportunity if you haven't changed anything since the early
I
80s?
thought it was 2004.
Was it?
No,
The stripe-
stripe up to okay.
The stripe update.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but no, it's 2004 since they changed the kind of the unis and
Right,
the numbers
right,
and everything
right.
else. But I mean, that helmet.
Oh, no,
and
right.
They talk about the iconic look of the stripes. I would say it's better than just the word Bengals across, like Ken Anderson wore with his
Right.
single bar.
Yeah, the helmet will remain the same.
Yeah.
So you just get the little tweaking of the. And to me, I don't know. Maybe this is me, and I'm going to compare this. Some of the teams in the NBA, like when they went through jersey changes, like man, you were like, who's that?
Right.
Well, I mean, they were dramatic. Now I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking in the NFL. Now there have been a couple changes.
Well,
Like,
they were helmet changes. Well, and then I mean, obviously Tampa Bay.
So I was going to say Tampa Bay, right? But that was, and I think, but when you do it right, you still have people clamoring for the old, we didn't win a game orange, and now the new look. But I think that was a dramatic change, and both of those are pretty cool in their own right.
Well, and then you think about the throwback jerseys that the
Yep.
NFL came out and did. I mean, the Steelers Bumblebee sweaters
Right.
look. I mean, that was a ridiculous look. But then when they weren't doing it anymore, people started clamoring for that ridiculous look. I actually have one of those with a TJ Watt.
And weren't you one of the ones who originally said the Rams, like I knew a lot of people didn't like the new Rams, but now I think they've kind of grown, but they were a little bit different.
Little bit, but most of the teams have changed helmets. I mean, obviously,
Right.
over the years, the Patriots changed
Yep.
their helmet. The Panthers, Carolina, I think, changed theirs.
So the
Jaguars,
Bengals have had what, two? Just the
Yeah.
word Bengals, and then the stripes.
and then the stripes. But why wouldn't you? I mean, because and they talk about the subtle changes, and to me, in this particular case, subtle equals lazy.
well, subtle equals none.
No, or nothing.
I mean, really.
And again, this is this organization's ethos in a nutshell, I think. They think that they've tweaked a little bit or a little bit here and there, and they haven't really done anything. So it remains to be seen whether or not that carries through. I mean, I saw all the comments by the players. The fans are going to be excited. No, they're not.
Well, here's
gonna
what
be
I would tell you.
excited by
I don't
this.
give a rat's ass what you wear. Just perform.
Yeah.
Win some flipping games. Now, I will tell you, I did have some member of the media this morning tell me the following. And just for the record, this isn't somebody who works at iHeart because I don't want to get anybody in trouble because, God forbid, they might give them a smaller pod in a few months. But here's what I would tell you. This person said to me, so they set it up for this media event,
Yeah.
I believe at 9 this morning. And then they released, so like that was supposed to be like,
big
don't,
unveiling.
but then they released it. This person said to me, then why the hell, like, why should we even release it? And I will tell you, the one thing I don't get, and this is just me, and I'm just asking this out loud, and you can give me an answer. I get, is it news? I guess it's a stretch of news, right? That
Right.
it's new uniforms. But I've never understood when tickets go on sale. Why is that news? That's up to the organizations to let you know when tickets go
Oh,
on
I see
sale.
what
Is
you
it
mean.
not?
Why is it on the news channel?
So then everything that is offering tickets to people, when they call the stations, will they broadcast when their tickets go on sale?
Yeah,
It's no different, right?
Yeah, you would think, right? Well, with
Here
the
in
uniforms,
Mayberry?
with the uniforms, I get it in as much as okay, it's a little bit of a tweak, but again, if it's not that different, and then when you've teased it for 2 months,
Well,
the
that,
New
I
Stripes
guess, correct.
campaign, and
That's-
and this is the thing that I don't understand about the organization, the family, if you will. They don't understand that when they do that sort of thing, think about this: the time between the tease and today's unveiling, how much fun has been made of them about what it's going to be, and people posting all this negative stuff. Why not just say, we're going to do it. We're going to do it this Friday, noon.
And do it.
It's going to be exciting. And then do something worth doing. I mean, I get with Burrow, some younger players coming
Yep.
in. I get you want to do that. Why not do something with the helmet? Maybe you keep the stripes, but maybe you go to kind of that flat black, like the Vikings did with that
Right.
flat
Oh,
purple.
or
Do
yeah.
something like that, and maybe do something that's a little bit more cutting edge instead of just tweaking and this and a little bit and this, and the outline is still around the thing. And then the best part is we put in a place where no one can see it, Paul Brown's signature. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Paul Brown's signature in a place where no one can see it. And one
Wouldn't
of the
you
players
want-
is like, I think that's kind of cool. I'm like, well, how the hell would anybody know?
Right, and wouldn't you want? I mean, part of the coolness of having Paul Brown and the legacy is
Yeah.
being able to see it.
Celebrate that. Maybe put
right.
it like the GLH,
Yeah.
George Hallis thing that's
Well,
on the
hold
sleeve
on.
of all the...
You could start with something around the stadium
Well.
that identifies when you're driving by that it's not something that hasn't been finished yet.
Well, and I did like that they said we cut some of the angles and we angled the stripes and it mimics the edges of the stadium. And I'm like, well, man,
What?
just
Mimics the edges of-
the
is it the-
edges and the curves of the stadium that doesn't look finished.
Ring
So-
of Honor, though, Fred.
Well, yeah.
Got the Ring of Honor this year. And Paul Brown and Anthony Munoz, I mean, that's, if you're into football and you know anything about
Right.
football, I mean, those are two that, you know.
Yeah, but again, it's celebrating
20
the
years
past.
late.
So you would think that, okay, we're going to make this announcement. We're going to start celebrating our past the way we should have been for, I don't know, the last 30, 40 years. But then when you're looking to the future, okay, we're doing the Ring of Honor. We're going to have Munoz and Paul Brown and everything else. Make a bigger statement with your uniform.
I'm with it. You know what
And-
I would have done, because he still looks like he could wear it much less than the one he wore. Put Munoz in it, man. If he's in your Ring of Honor, right, let him walk out there with it. Have Munoz, and I guess maybe not Burrow now, but some other young, whoever you want to have. Here's the past, here's the present.
Well, and it is funny, too, because I see Munoz on these commercials. I forget who it is, who he's doing his rehab through or whatever.
Oh, right, I've seen.
He's
COVID. It's a
Oh,
COVID
it's a
spot.
COVID
Yes.
spot where he's talking about staying strong, and I'm watching him do these leg presses or whatever, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's exhausting me watching him.
Right.
What is he, 80? he's doing better than
he
I
looks great. I mean,
does.
he looks like a dude. And it's funny, linemen go one of two ways. When their career is over, they either get a little, or they get lean. And boy, I'll give him credit. I mean, and we weren't linemen.
for the
But anyway, I guess for me, look, and I get it. It's all about merchandising. It's all about that. It's about the brand. And I get all that part of sports. But I mean, I don't know. I think fans, at the end of the day, what fans want are some victories on the field and moving in the right direction. They want to see Joe Burrow play and complete some passes and win some games.
Well, and I did go back through a gallery. I don't remember whose website it was, but they had a gallery all the way back to the beginning. Man, those loose fitting, they look like pajamas.
Yeah.
All the teams kind of wore what looked like pajamas back then. But you see Anderson, he's got like sleeves that are hanging open.
Yep.
I mean, anything you could grab, you could get a hold of anybody anyway.
And I presume the timing today is you are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting into that and whatever. But, I mean, hey, that's a cottage industry all itself. In fact, join us this Thursday night, Gamble and Finn's The Reality Check on News Radio 700 WLW, 9 to midnight on Thursdays, except on the 29th when it's the NFL draft.
Yep, Mo and Pike are going to be running that because they didn't think we were qualified. They were half right.
Oh, no, they were all right because I don't pay any. You know, when I pay attention to the draft, when they announce the draft pick, I don't get all the I mean, I love football. I really and truly do. But I'll know who the Bengals draft when they make the selection.
Once they make the selection.
Because, the accuracy of mock drafts are like 5%.
Oh, Mel Kiper. Yeah. Now, I will tell you, though, this Thursday, one thing that we are going to be addressing with a respected entomologist is we're going to be talking about the cicadas because somebody asked me this, how many are they expecting? What is the size of this brood? And I use the word millions. I saw a headline the other day, nationwide, billions. There are going to be billions. I think I heard some in my neighborhood last night, too, sitting outside. I'm like, I don't recognize that. I don't think that's crickets.
Well, you're probably, though, in your neighborhood, because there's a lot of really mature
old school trees.
You're going to get a ton, I would think. I mean, because normally the more trees you have and the age of the trees, I think, and I'm sounding like I know what I talk about cicadas, but I do believe the more trees you have, the more you have at least the chance of getting.
When we first moved back to Cincinnati from Atlanta, I think there was a smaller brood that hit, and they in and of themselves were a pain in the ass.
Yes,
this
they are
is the big one. I can't even imagine. I mean, this is going to be the driving over them in parking lots, the crunch and the whole thing. It's going to be it's going to be brutal. But we're going to have a respected, I think, Rose Pest Control is providing an entomologist. So if you have any questions you'd like us, our big questions both have to do with can the dogs eat them, because that's coming.
Or how many can they eat?
Yeah.
I mean, let's not can they, how many?
I mean, they're basically protein. They're basically just, they're just going to be ground shrimp.
You've hit it big in the media market when the only people who reach out to you as a guest are cicada experts.
People that like bugs.
Yes, or bug people.
So anyway, that'll be Thursday. We'll have we're gonna do a little moving around in the schedule. We got some a spot to fill in, but this Thursday, like you said, we'll be in there regularly 9 to midnight, a little reality check, and then we'll have the following week. We'll take a breather, and we'll see what happens together with the NFL draft. But speaking about taking a break, Gamble and Finn, this is the Reality Check Season 2, Episode 10. Now, we were off last week, but we did have a good clip show. Thank you very much to our executive producer and all things technical, Lori Gamble, for putting this together. And we had a bit of a best of kind of vibe.
And your laugh, I must admit, your laughter made her laugh throughout the week. We'll tell you that.
I did like that. It was like a little 10-second repeated piece of if you just need a laugh, play this. And I played it, and I laughed, and then it just was looping, and I kept laughing too, because me making you laugh, and then when you start laughing, it makes me laugh harder. Right. So that's a great little thing.
And God knows we need laughter these days.
Yes, we do. But we did take a break. Now, I'll tell you what I did with my spring break vacation, and then you can tell me what you did not do.
Can tell you. Yeah, right.
Went down and joined some friends at the Red River Gorge. This is always fun. They have these nice new cabins. This one's been about 6 months old. It was back. We drove down. in driving rain down through Lexington. It was awesome. We were going no miles per hour behind every jackass in the left lane with their flashers on. That was good. We saw a rainbow, so we thought we were out of the woods. Nope, we went right back into it again. And then we got out to go east on 640 east of Lexington, Fred, and that's when the real fun began, because it was like driving into a Rob Zombie horror show. We went down these little roads down through this area in Kentucky, and I'm just like, I'm not 100% sure that we're in a real place. It was almost like a movie set.
Now, is this the only way to go to get there?
There might have been one other way, but this
Okay.
was the most, what Waze said was the most direct way. So we're going through, and we finally get to the last mile. My knuckles are popping through my skin, and we're in the Jeep, and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get murdered out here. And we get on this last road. It's gravel. It's 1 mile. It's about the width of the car, and there are cliffs going down both sides. And it's driving rain. By the time we got to the house, I was about a quarter of a mile from the house and ready to turn around and try to go all the way back home.
Well, you
I
would
was
accept
so
you wouldn't have
pissed
been
off.
able to turn around.
No, that's
right?
the only
I mean,
reason I
okay.
didn't.
All
It was
right,
because
right.
I couldn't turn around and get out of there. So we went in there. I think I drank 14 beers in about 30 minutes and finally relaxed. But then we got into the hot tub. It was like a 10-person hot tub out on the corner of the deck. It wasn't until the very last day that we were there, and we went out and we were looking back up at it, and it was bowed. The deck was bowed like this. And I'm like, holy shit snacks. That's going down into the gorge
Yeah,
at
that's
some
right.
point. This has only been there 6 months. So we took a picture of it and sent it to the owner. There's 3,000 pounds of water. Then there was 3,000 pounds
Now,
of meat.
but below, how far of a drop down?
Well, you would drop about 25 feet to the ground, and then you would just start careening into the gorge because you went out over this edge. And when you look down over the edge, it dropped 100 feet. There were no nothing keeping you from doing that. That's why they didn't put the hot tub down there.
Right,
Because I
sure.
could see some asshat getting all hammered up and go, what's down there? Whoop. Oh, now it's me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah,
now,
it was
now
brutal.
let's
It
hold
scared
on
me to
now.
death when I looked up there. I'm like, we are not getting back in that thing.
I know some people that go to Red River Gorge, and they typically do a lot of hiking and
Yes,
more of the
they typically do.
outdoors. So, did you have any memorable hikes?
Hang on one second. Let me go back and look at my steps.
I'm just asking out of curiosity because
Yeah, I hiked from the hot tub to the fridge and then back to the hot tub. And then 1 out of every 3 times I peed, I got out to go to the bathroom. And you can do that math on your own. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. But I think I got 120 steps on Friday.
so this was not meant to be
And
an
maybe
outdoor
100
excursion kind of voyage.
No, I
right?
would have fallen into the gorge. Had we
Right,
had we walked anywhere away from where we were, I would have fallen in. And did I tell you a couple years ago we went there and we saw in the news they were talking about a lot of people from Ohio go down there, and unfortunately they do fall in.
No, I
while they're
have seen-
hiking.
well, you hear about that every so often that somebody locally goes down.
They were talking to one of the good old boys in the neighborhood who was one of the guys who was on the search and rescue. They're the ones that go down and find you, whether you're alive or otherwise, and then bring you out. And they were talking to him, and this was on the news. He says, well, yeah, we got us a saying down around these parts that you know when it's the autumn because that's when the Buckeyes start falling. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh boy, they let that run.
That was on
Well,
the,
I guess
that was
he-
on the news.
Wow. Now, the only memorable hike that I can give you is we went down to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge,
Yeah.
Gatlinburg,
Yeah.
and it was a family hike. And Lori, who's more outdoors than I am,
Right.
I would suggest. So we go to this. Where was that? I mean, I don't even know where it was. Anyway, we went. Kate.
Somebody's Cove.
Somebody's Cove. Cade's Cove. So when you look, they had two trails, one to the left, one to the right. Well, she selected the one, and the one was 0.5 miles. The other one was
5 points.
So I'm in no way, shape, or form. And this would have been, Nathan would have been how old? 6.
Oh, okay.
So we start, and we go, and I'm already going like, it's kind of like when it gets around lunchtime. Like, we eating soon? Like, it's
Yeah.
the time for lunch? And I'm like, well, how much longer is this hike? I mean, when are we going to get? Because I'm starting to learn. I know one thing about hiking. When you get to the end point, you got to start and go back. So however long it takes you to get that way. And it was cool when we got to the end point. There was a waterfall and all this. That was 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
And it was, and it was honestly with a 6-year-old trying to make sure that he didn't go over the edge.
Right.
Because similar to what you said, I mean, you don't have much more. I'm surprised, quite honestly, when we got done with this, and I think I got out of bed 3 days later. But after it was over, I thought to myself, I wonder how many people really do. Just by happenstance, accident, just slip, lean over, look over. Well,
Just
that's
like
a pro-
that?
That's like that. It's okay. Now, okay. I was going to say, do you want to bend? What's worse, now showing that for the rest of this larger than life segment, or bending over to retrieve it?
I think I bent over to get it, but that was a mistake. I think I pulled
I don't know.
something.
Honestly, as I've started walking more, I wouldn't mind doing some hiking. I just can't get in a circumstance where I'm not an outdoors person.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't get where the hike where you're like, oh my God, I'll never get back.
Well, this is going to make for a good extra because we're going to talk about camping in an extra. I want to get your thoughts on camping because I certainly have mine.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
Because
But
I've done a lot, so I can give you a really expert opinion.
Well, I would tell you, I've been to Gatlinburg a bunch. We used to go there on our way back from Myrtle Beach when we were kids.
So
And
cheesy.
I mean, I think you're still. I think I saw our buddy Josh Sneed posting that the most amazing thing about Ripley's, believe it or not, is that people pay $30 to go through that museum, but because that's the big centerpiece downtown. But I think our hiking in Gatlinburg mostly was from one pancake house to another pancake house to another pancake house, then to a throwing star store, and then some pancakes for dinner.
A lot of good. I'm not going to lie.
Tattoos.
Back in the day, buffets and pancakes, not a bad way to go.
Yep,
Yes, you would
absolutely.
be
So,
correct.
but now, have you ever been to Dollywood down there?
No, have not been to Dollywood.
There is a big American
wanna
Cornhole
go?
Organization tournament down there. I think it was last year or maybe the year before, it was pre-COVID, and everybody had a blast. They said
Really?
it could not have been more fun.
So what is it about? I mean, what makes it? I mean, I'm not trying to be.
There's like a huge water park, and they said the
Okay.
scenery was quite nice. But they just said everywhere you went, it was clean.
Okay.
It was nice. It was as you would expect Dolly Parton would require.
I'm not
you
going
know.
to a water park in Dollywood. I'm sorry.
You're
I
not?
have no interest in that whatsoever.
You wouldn't? I would go. I would go in a big
Why?
wave pool. In a big wave pool. It was probably cleaner in that big wave pool than it was in my hot tub this past weekend.
Well, that's on you and the three people you were there with. I mean, you have no one to blame there but yourself. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say. I like the. Not a bah humbug. I can think of 50 things I'd rather do before I go to Dollywood.
All right, well, we got 10 minutes. Name them.
Go to Las Vegas.
Okay.
Go to a beach.
Go
up
your
east.
ass. You wouldn't go.
I want to tour the West.
You wouldn't.
I want to go to the
tour
Napa
the West.
Valley.
Your ass. So you can think of one thing out of a list of 50. Vegas. Oh, and you know the other thing? Vegas again.
And
then,
by the way, in case I've forgotten, Vegas.
Yes.
No,
What happens in Vegas continues to happen in Vegas.
right, and I wish it would continue to happen with me there instead of
I
here.
can see you in Napa Valley, Fred. Oh my God.
Here's what I would tell you. I don't want to live any longer in an area where a minimum of 5 months a year suck weather-wise.
Yeah.
We're closing in on 6.
I got to be honest with you. If I never see another snowflake,
No,
real
it's terrible.
or otherwise, ever.
You want me to enjoy my living here? Can't get across the bridge ever. Can't get from one side of northern Kentucky. This isn't northern Boston. This isn't northern
The Big
Chicago.
Dig.
This is flipping northern Kentucky. You can't get anywhere.
To your point, I got off 18 to come this way. What are they doing in front of Kroger?
Oh, that's
Don't give me. Did they say
hold
this
on.
is the only place that
No.
isn't torn up?
Hold on.
We're going to tear it up.
Because I want to make sure that the members of the Boone County Planning Commission, you pack of ass clowns. I hope you enjoy living here because I'm not going to live here because you have screwed up Boone County. You know what that is, Fred? All Amazon. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's increased gas line, power supply, this, that, this grid, that grid. I wish Amazon didn't exist. I'll start with that.
Oh boy,
I'm not a fan of Amazon. Get the hell out of Boone County.
I'm a huge fan of Amazon.
Good. Well,
But I hate that it's inconvenienced.
Why don't they go
in
to
order
Milford?
convenience me?
Because Milford's smarter than these hill jacks down here.
Yeah, we got the FC Cincinnati training facility. Fred.
Oh, well, that's even better.
How about that?
You can get your Amazon packages delivered there.
I did, honestly. I pulled off and I looked up in front of that
it's
Kroger
brutal.
on the way over. I'm like, are you kidding me? Did someone look and go, we haven't torn that up yet.
Right.
Let's just tear
Yeah.
that shit up.
Well, here's
over
the best
there.
part. So they built this throughway to get you off of Route 18.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess they thought that we were all stupid and wouldn't realize that the only reason they built that was in anticipation of this ridiculous deal of Amazon. So what am I getting? That's what I want to know.
Well, let me ask
So
you
you've
this.
inconvenienced the hell out of me. What are you giving me? Boone
Are
County.
you going to get tax breaks because they're going to be no, you're not. No, you are not.
Please.
They're not going to be paying. Oh, but
How about you get back to school?
yeah. Well, this kind of falls under the whole thing about what was we were always told about the lottery. Well, the lottery, a bunch of money's going to go to the schools. How much? But yet there are tax levies on the ballot every year for schools.
Right.
Every single time there's a ballot, there's a school levy on there. I've never, ever, ever seen a summary of how much lottery
and you
money
won't.
goes to the schools or goes to
here's the
anything.
thing. Look, I understand progress.
Yeah.
I get trying to develop an area, but I mean this. When we moved out here almost 3 decades ago, we were moving, and I understand, but we got to at some point somebody they had to all the infrastructure, they had to redo all these roads because they just keep allowing more people and now they're, oh, by the way, I forgot this. Now they're building additional housing right off the street so they can accommodate the people who no doubt are going to work
there
at Amazona. I mean,
Amazona,
when does it stop?
Well, it's not going to. Now, let me ask you this. Because of its proximity to the airport, are they going to have their own runways? Are they going to have their own?
Yes, that's
well, you
absolutely
better get
correct.
the hell out of Dodge and sell while you
Right.
can, Fred, because I'll be honest with you, planes coming in low and slow for that, it's 24/7. There's
I
not
know.
going to be a downtime for them because they're not carrying people, they're carrying packages.
Cargo. So the project, the whole project is a 6-year project.
Well, if I was you, I would start sniffing because it is going to be and the number of semi trucks and everything else that's going to be rolling out. I mean, hell, it's already trying to get 71, 75 around here.
They built,
impossible.
if you go on 18 where they built across from where they're putting in all of Amazona, there's a massive warehouse. That's for all their vendors. That's literally, I mean, the entire half of Boone County is now freaking Amazon.
Well, I would tell you we are running tight on time here for this particular episode, but let me ask you this, and if
Yes.
maybe you guys know from living over here, but don't you think somebody is sitting around looking at the Brent Spence going, oh, there may be a few more semi trucks on that than there used to be 5 or 6 years from now. So instead of painting it, how about reinforcing it or building a bridge next to it that can handle the truck traffic while the cars still go over here on this
that's a
death
good
trap?
idea.
You know what I mean?
Cargo and trucks.
Yeah,
and-
cargo here, cargo over here.
Yeah.
Cars
That's not a bad-
go,
Look at us.
cargo.
Maybe we came up with something.
You know
there.
what? We are city planners. We are problem solvers.
Well, we couldn't be any worse than the current Cincinnati City Council.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
well,
right?
What do they got left? They got as few people left as UC basketball.
Right.
What, like 4 or
Right.
5? Is there 4 or 5 left?
Yeah, that's that whole. Well, but wait
luck,
a minute
Wes.
though. But wait, no, but Wes, he's out. He's going all over
He's
the country.
excited. He's excited.
He's getting them back.
Good. He went into the portal.
We're going to talk
Did he
about
go into the black hole.
We're
of
going to talk
players
about
and
this
get 'em back?
Thursday night of how he had mutiny to get rid of this coach allegedly, and now this coach is. This is what's wrong with this picture. And now new coach is going. He drove to Indianapolis. Now he's flying to California to try to get the mutiny guys back.
Yeah. Well, can I be honest with you?
College
I've
athletics
never heard the
sucks.
phrase player portal until this year. I've never heard. I didn't know what that was. I'm like, did they just go sit in a big tube and
I
wait
want
for
to
somebody
you know
to
what?
shoot them over to their program?
Actually, I want to go in a portal.
In a portal?
I don't know where the portal takes me or what it can do
Well,
for me.
you want to be
But
in a
yeah, I want to be in a Vegas portal.
Vegas portal. Oh, you know what? I want to be in a portalette.
Hey, by the way, if anybody has a car you'd like to donate, we're in the market for another vehicle. Another car died
You
this
can write
morning.
it off on your taxes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
All right. Goodwill.
Taxes,
Goodwill.
I still got a month. It's all
Goodwill
good.
to all.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap up this episode of Larger Than Life. Extra editions on the way.
yeah.
Our dedicated YouTube channel, Gamble Capital N Fin, just like here on Mark's Place. Hopefully this will get pushed out and we won't have any problems. Everything I've tried to do through Facebook here lately has been a nightmare. So we'll see. Hopefully you're seeing this in its entirety. Thank you guys for checking it out. Again, don't forget Thursday
That's
nights.
right. Yes, Thursday night,
700 WLW.
9 to midnight. We're on after usually. You know, if we're on, Lance is on prior to. If we're not on, it's largely because of Reds baseball.
Right.
So we are on this Thursday. So join us now, won't you? You'll learn everything and anything you have been just dying to know about cicadas
Right.
and their return.
It's an opportunity for us to bug you even further.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
On that note,
Yeah, we
please
should probably
take us
get
home.
out
It's
here.
time to go.
Look for the extras, all our social media, Gamble Capital and Fin. It's the Twitter, it's Instagram. Paul over here, he's got that all taken
Yep,
care of.
Snapchat,
And
too.
don't forget Snapchat and Snapchat. We don't do Snapchat. Do we do Snapchat?
I'm
We
starting
don't do Snapchat.
today.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet, yeah. I think
Check it out
if
tonight.
anybody's about to Snapchat, I think it is you. But I do, and then also don't forget the podcast.
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually have the audio.
That's audio.
version of this, and and that is through iTunes. We can't seem to find any place else that will take us. But,
Can you blame him?
I don't.
Yes.
But anyway, so we're going to wrap it up. He's Gamble. I'm Finn.
And you will not be this summer because of cicadas out.